This is Jenny Christensen with Friendly Podcasts, brought to you by the Friends Council on Education. In this podcast, Phyllis Mincer, former Director of Development at Media Providence Friends School, highlights a great activity for trustees.
The program that we implemented where board members were to call donors was pretty basic and rather simple. We would hand the board member a sheet of paper that had about 8 to 10 names of donors on it. It included a phone number, and it also included their affiliation or relationship to the school, whether they were a parent or a past parent or a current parent. We also included a talk sheet for each board member, and it was rather short and simple. It gave an example of how they would introduce themselves. For example, our then chair of the board, Harry Schreckengast, would call and say, "Hi, this is Harry Schreckengast. I'm chair of the Board of Trustees at Media Providence Friends School, and I'm calling to say thank you for your donation." He would then go on to let them know where the donation was used, how it was used. One example we gave was a wonderful class trip, an 8th grade class trip that we are able to implement. He also had a little talk point about our conflict resolution program, and he may have had a talk point, it changed throughout the years, but one was about something new we were doing with our math program. So it made the board member feel so comfortable in making that call because they had lots of information to share with the donor. The feedback that we got, or the response that we got from both the board member and the person who was the donor was just marvelous. First of all, the board members who weren't sure, many of whom weren't sure that they could make this phone call, realized that it was a real easy phone call and that it felt good to them, and they felt so thrilled to be able to help the school in this way, because so many of them really do want to help the school in many ways. So that was real easy for the board member to do. We did hear feedback over the years from the donor, and the donors were astonished. One of the most common words that we'd hear from a donor was, "Wow, I've donated to other organizations before and I've never gotten a personal phone call." So they were thrilled that they were able to get the personal phone call and the explanation of how their hard-earned dollars would be spent at the school.
Thanks for joining us for Friendly Podcasts, brought to you by the Friends Council on Education, produced by Jenny Christensen at Strategy for Growth.